She had always known how to strike at the right moment, and this time, Leslie didn't miss her chance. While the entire town of Fairmont Crest turned its back on her, Leslie continued her calculated moves, exploiting even the smallest cracks in trust to wedge herself in. Injury, real or fabricated, had now become her trump card in a treacherous game she was silently orchestrating. She fell, but not from weakness. She fell to be seen, to be pitted, to turn every doubtful gaze into a weapon of retaliation. On the other side of town, those who had always watched her warily began to whisper. Leslie would never pass up such an opportunity. Once again, she was using pain as a springboard for ambition. And as expected, this incident was not separate from the recent heated confrontation between Leslie and Nicole. A clash that, to those who witnessed it, had clearly erased all boundaries. Nicole, after enduring so many layers of secrets and deception, could no longer hold herself together when Leslie hurled the truth at her with shameless cruelty. What seemed like an ordinary lunch at the diner with Ted, the one person Nicole had left to lean on, turned into a vivid nightmare. Ted stepped away for a moment, leaving just enough space for Leslie to slip in like a phantom. She sat down, uninvited and unbothered, and began to speak, not with regret, but with a mocking smile and a defiant glare. She described her relationship with Ted using the filthiest words, recounting every intimate moment as if it were a victory. And while Nicole was still reeling from the blow, Leslie didn't stop. She said she would take Ted. She said love wasn't for the weak. She said that if Nicole didn't let go, she would force Ted to leave. Leslie's smug smile was a slap across Nicole's already shredded self-respect. Nicole was no longer the woman who endured. She rose, eyes blazing with fury, and lunged at Leslie as if all the anger from years of betrayal had finally found its outlet. She grabbed Leslie by the throat, her hands tightening in despair. A slap, a glass shattered, a chair toppled, the diner erupted. But only when Ted returned, shocked and panicked, did the chaos stop. He pulled Nicole off Leslie, begging her to calm down. But Nicole didn't listen. She looked into Ted's eyes and saw only a stranger, the man who had let her fall into this pit. She yanked her arm from his grip, her tears merging with her rage, and walked away without looking back. Across the room, Leslie lay sprawled on the floor. Someone called an ambulance. Someone took her to the hospital. But what truly sent chills down everyone's spine wasn't the injuries. It was the smile still etched on her face. Cold, calculating, fearless. Though she'd been choked, slapped, and despised by an entire town, Leslie felt victorious. Because now she could rewrite the story, the victim. She could claim she was attacked. She could use the injuries, real or not, for compensation, for sympathy or worse, to shackle Ted with guilt. Would she extort money from Nicole, who now risked being sued for assault? Or would she use her tear-filled eyes to make Ted believe he failed to protect his lover? No one could say for sure. But one thing was clear. Leslie never made a move without purpose. And this injury, ploy or not, was her tool to dig deeper into a life that was never meant to be hers. While Fairmont Crest buzzed with gossip, rumors spread like wildfire. Some said Leslie had planned it all along. Others claimed she knew Nicole would lose control. Some believed the entire scene had been staged, for just one bruise, one excuse to flip the script. Leslie didn't need the truth on her side. She only needed a story that sounded true. And in a town where everyone had something to hide, no one really wanted the truth to come out. Who would dare expose her? Who would risk saying she was faking it? With a few bruises, a couple of bandages, and a tearful glance at the perfect moment, Leslie had transformed into a victim in a war she had started. Nicole, burdened with all her pain, was now the one facing charges. Ted, betrayed by both sides, stood between the two women, completely lost. He knew Leslie wasn't innocent. He knew Nicole wasn't the villain. But he had failed to protect his wife. And now, he no longer knew whom he was protecting. Leslie knew this, and she would exploit every second of his hesitation to worm her way further into his life. Like a wound that never heals, a trap hidden beneath false affection. Leslie didn't love Ted, at least not in the way others defined love. She possessed. She controlled. She wanted to win, and Ted was just the prize. And Fairmont Crest, with its seemingly peaceful walls, was once again shaken. Not just by Nicole's fury or by Leslie's scheming, but by a larger question. Does truth still matter when the liar knows how to cry, and the wounded becomes the accused? And if Leslie succeeds this time, who will be her next victim? To sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.